thought.
Patrick, I feel like that's you anytime we mention anything slightly related to anime.
Pretty much. Yeah. I am in many respects Walter White.
How many?
Most except I don't own a pork pie hat.
You cook meth?
I don't not cook meth.
Cool. It's like a liminal kind of thing.
You can't say it. You can't admit it anywhere.
Hold on. Turn off the stream.
Yeah, the stream's off. Wink.
All right, the cops.
God, okay. Yeah. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Who wants to do a recap for us?
Once again, it's real easy, guys.
I'm full up. I don't want to take it.
Who's not full up?
I'm not full up. Well, I can't remember what we did.
You can.
It's written down. I promise you.
It's in the recap channel. Michael wrote it down.
Let me.
You have to do it in a fun voice though, since it's
Oh
already
God.
done.
Yeah.
Give us the old Dragon Ball Z recap.
Apparently, oh yes, I remember everything. We were with the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and they sent their familiar to watch over us, and we sent our familiar to watch over them, as one does. And then we went to the other side of the temple to check out the temple, and or like the the tomb rather. And there was a coffin that had a body in it, and Isi and Avan did a very bad impression of strong people and took half an hour to get the lid off this coffin, and we found this body that was in perfect pristine condition, even though it was clearly quite old. And we got the body out, and everybody thought it was a good idea, and by everybody I mean everybody except Isi and Avan thought it was a good idea to go and put this body on the throne on the other side of the temple. Excuse me. So we did that, and we awoke an ancient god, as you know, as one does. And then the god was awoken, and we talked to the god for a bit, or not a god, but a creature with godlike powers. And the god said that Isi should go and like kind of grasp the power that they wanted, and Isi went and touched the psychic pillar that somebody got fucked up by earlier, and the god withered and crumbled into dust, or like I don't know if they crumbled into dust, but they definitely withered, and Isi's forehead glowed with a weird rune for a bit until that eventually went away. But Isi appears to have taken on some of the god powers. And then when that, before doing her best dry Ganon cosplay. So Shadow Wizard Money Gang, I think maybe they were high. I don't really know. They were kind of fucking around.
It's really funny.
Patrice was out cold. They didn't really seem that interested in what was going on.
Classic Patrice.
Classic Patrice. They didn't really seem that interested in what was going on, which is weird considering that there was like the embodiment of a god and what have you. So we went.
To be fair, they did seem interested. They just didn't do anything. They were all watching with like very intense sort of looks at you guys, but they didn't do anything.
Shadows.
They're the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, not the Shadow War and Conquest and Right to Rule Gang.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. So anyway, we buggered off and we went back to the town that Nezrin doesn't want to go to because her dad lives there, and we went and found the mayor and talked to the mayor about our reward, and we're invited to go and stay in one of the inns. And then while the scout was sent off to verify everything that we'd done, because they wanted to make sure that we were telling the truth and that we weren't trying to pull some shadow wizard shit on them. And then Nezrin and Isi and Luna went to a library to read some stuff. And that so Isi can't write very well, and they wanted to transcribe some stuff in a book about I can't remember what the book was about.
Enchanting material.
Enchanting material, that's right. And Nezrin offered to do that for them because Nezrin is a nerd.
Yeah.
And I assume when they all got back, somebody flushed Nezrin's head down the toilet.
Probably.
And so yeah, they went and did some research in the library. There was something about Nezrin's teacher being a bit kind of shady. But that's warlocks for you, baby. Warlocks do be being like that and such.
Yeah.
It literally says in my connections document that I looked at after the game that he's like he tends to speak in riddles. And I'm like, yeah, he does.
He certainly do.
He do. Good job. Thank you very much, Patrick, for that recap. Go ahead and take your point of inspiration. Michael, you can go ahead and take one for writing up the recap as well. I appreciate that.
Listen, this is how I'm gonna get my point every week.
This is how you win.
This is how I get the point that I spend on absolute nonsense every week.
You're smart. Listen, you put in the hard work. I'm not gonna not reward it. Anyway, when we left off, it was still evening. Was there anything anyone else wanted to do before the next day?
EC's kind of occupied, probably for most of the night.
Yes, EC went off into the woods to go commune with nature. Although I don't know if they specifically announced that, but they left.
Would have told Luna and Nezrin who they were probably. They probably ate and was like, hey, I'm gonna go check something out in the woods.
Okay, have fun, be safe.
Take care of yourself. Luna figures that they would want some alone time to I don't know, be by themselves.
There is a moment where Ishi's like looking at Luna like, should I invite her? And then just sort of like decides against it. No, this should be something I do myself. And then
tilts her head like a confused puppy and shrugs when they look away.
Okay.
But yeah, that's our RP3 is what EC's doing.
Yeah.
Anyone hasn't.
Anyone else want to do anything for the evening, or should we go to the next day?
No, I'm good.
I don't think I'm doing anything that's worth RPing out, so.
Okay.
Unless you want to roleplay Avan having a long bath by himself.
You don't want your buddies
Lots of
at
bubbles.
Geralt scene. Geralt bathtub scene.
You don't want to hotbox the bathroom with Luke?
Nezrin studying her alchemy book.
Wow, okay, that's one way to say it.
Gabe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm glad Patrick got it.
Nezrin is saving herself.
For alchemy.
No, for someone else.
For the weird skeleton man that they keep obsessing over.
Nah, dude, I'm obsessed with somebody else.
But
I am 1/4 the way to proficiency in alchemy.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'd like to make that 2/4.
Yeah, okay. So you guys have a good evening. Nothing of note happens in the evening. Yeah, nothing of note happens in the evening. And you wake up the next day with a day to explore the city. You guys all have breakfast. I assume EC, this is about when you arrive.
Probably, yeah.
Gotcha.
Probably like stray branches and leaves in their hair.
Whoa, rough night?
No, just day night.
Alright, alright.
I can still go to the lodge, so that is good.
Hmm. That is good news.
And Dante is going to ask the elders about whatever this is. Maybe they have knowledge. So has the scout gotten back? I did not see them coming back in to town.
I don't think not yet. But it should be
I
any
mean,
time
unless
today or tomorrow.
yeah, unless they did like an overnight in the spooky temple, I don't think they're gonna be back for a little bit.
Hmm.
It only was half. It was a half a day to get there, and come back.
Not everyone pulls all nighters.
Or perhaps they ran into some trouble with the Shadow Wizard money gang.
Speaking of those fucks, should we ask around about them?
We could.
That seems like a waste of time, but
What else are we going to do with our time here while we wait for the scout?
literally anything else.
Alright, what do you want to do then?
You see, like, looks to Afan for this. Like, do you have anything?
Don't look at me, mate. Right. I'm happy to just sit in the pub and drink, but I mean,
What do-
it's probably not a bad idea if those fucking idiots are going to keep coming around that we should check out who they are, you know? See if anybody around here knows anything about them, how long they've been going, and know your enemy and that kind of thing, you know? You don't have to come, I can go and do it, it's no problem.
They got like a team robe thing. They're either cults or really coordinated. They got like a club.
Maybe we should have some kind of team dress sort of thing, you know?
No,
No, I'm good.
Matching
We c-
hat.
Yeah, we could do matching hats, or maybe
No.
something wisteria related, like a flower.
Maybe.
Oh, that's a lot for easy. Okay.
Hmm.
But Issy is going to go and Issy thinks that they found the tracks of an animal last night. Issy is going to go and hunt that, I think.
What kind of animal?
Can I make a real quick nature check to determine what would be so close to a town?
Yes, please. I love that EC's just fucking just making this up. 13. Around a town like this, to get there within a day and back, maybe there's some deer that's not too far out, maybe some small critters and things like that. Rabbits or squirrels, most likely some small critters.
Like deer, some rabbits, maybe a squirrel or two. Nice little road snack. If anyone wants to roll insight, because
I'd like to roll
EC is not good at lying.
I'm not good at inciting.
Me neither,
I
but I'm gonna
mean-
try.
You can roll a deception check, EC.
Oh,
Oh wow, okay.
EC does like road snacks.
You guys, it's
They do like road snacks.
I think it's less that EC's good at lying and more that you guys have no reason to distrust EC.
This is totally in character.
Yeah, like
It's not weird at all.
EC's absolutely done this before. There's no reason to distrust EC.
They don't lie.
Yeah, they don't typically lie. They literally went out last night to go hang out in the woods. Why wouldn't they want to go again? They probably don't want to spend time here in the city. There's no reason for them to lie.
so she's just going to get their stuff and get their bow. I won't be too far out. just get
Yes.
that deer and come back.
All
I
right.
guess
Well,
we'll send Rook. Rook has something happening.
Don't
Oh,
worry about
my
that.
bird.
Oh wait, we have self stones. I keep forgetting about that. Shit.
Yeah, we have the cell stones.
Okay. Well, if you want anyone to come help you, just let us know. Like hauling back the big deer or something.
Lucy looks down at Nezrin, and there's just like the ghost of a smirk at their face, and then
Okay,
just
maybe, well, someone. I didn't say me. Okay.
if I manage to track it down, you will be the first person I call.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. Wait, do I have your cell phone number?
I just gave it to everyone to have, so I think so.
Okay.
And if you don't have it, then it's the only number in that weird thing in that weird group thing that you know is not me.
Oh, that's been you this whole time. Oh, that makes so much sense.
I guess.
Actually, you've never messaged in it. No. Oh, you have once. Okay, twice. 3 times. I found it. Never mind. Cool. All right, enjoy your hunt.
He just goes and probably doesn't even hunt for a deer. Just goes out and spends time in nature.
Yeah. Roll me a d20. Let's see if you get an encounter here.
Mega deer.
Okay.
Isn't that just a moose?
No, mega deer is much larger than a moose, and moose get big.
No, I don't know if a mega deer
Don't
is larger than a moose. A moose is really big, Michael.
Don't get me started on a mega moose.
Mega moose.
That is D&D's toughest
A
encounter.
humongous
Mega
moose.
moose.
A humongoose.
No, that's a
very
bird.
We were in Maine a couple of weeks ago, and there were the bit of Maine we were in, there were signs on 95 which were just like, beware of moose. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? Like, if there's a moose in the middle of the road, we're dead. Like, there's nothing that we're gonna be able to do about it. But thanks for the warning, I guess.
Now just speed up. You ever saw that Mythbusters episode?
Hopefully we come out the other side.
That
Yeah.
definitely works for deer. I would not say it works for moose.
Damn.
Okay.
You gotta fly.
Go ahead and roll me a d8 and a d12, Michael.
Oh boy, D8, D12. Oh,
That's 15, right?
yeah.
Okay. As you climb the tree to sort of just I think what you're doing actually in this tree is you're working on the obsidian that you harvested from outside of the cave. You're like
I'll accept that.
you're like oh, I forgot the word. There's a word for it, but you're carving it into a knife. And as you're no, it's not whittling. It's like I almost said nodding. It's not nodding, but it's something. It's similar to that. But it doesn't matter. As you're working this obsidian into napping, I think it's called actually. Sorry.
Yeah, flint napping, yeah.
Yeah. As you're napping this obsidian piece into a proper knife, or what could be used as a knife if you wanted to, you see a group of 15. A group of about 8 what look to be workers.
I say deer, holy shit.
Pushing and pulling a hand cart filled with what looks to be mining equipment.
I think as Isi's sort of shaping this obsidian, napping rather, it's probably probably into arrowheads actually.
Okay.
Be enchanted. They look up and see this procession with their mining stuff. Are they going to the city or from the city?
From the city out into the woods. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, actually. As you check the group out, you see while most of them are focused on moving the equipment, there are a couple of them that are looking at what seems to be a map, a little confused, like looking around. They may be a little lost, it looks like.
Knowing such procession would probably disturb any sort of critters that'd be along here. EC does a small side of themselves as they put up the equipment that they have and jump down from the tree and sort of announce their presence as they walk forward, sort of bow, not like brought out, but like at their side.
Right. Start moving this guy to the side. Yeah. As you sort of drop down, they all sort of jump a little bit, surprised by someone being out here. You can see that all of these people are humans and what look to be like half elves, a half orc in there as well. They look to be EC. They remind you of like people in your village. They don't look like they don't look as fancy as a lot of city folk look like. Their clothes look a little bit more not decorative and more like useful. If EC had the social acumen, EC could probably put some things together and say that these guys are not as well off. But I don't know if EC has that social acumen.
No.
Okay. But they look at you. A couple of them look a little distrustful. A few of them, most of the rest of them just look surprised. One of them who is holding the map sort of looks at you. It's a human woman. She's big and burly. She's got this deep like orange red hair. And she looks at you and she says, "Oi, what are you doing out here in the middle of the woods?"
We see like looks around the middle of the woods. This is like the very edge of the woods. And town is like 5 minutes that way.
She like raises a finger to say something and then like drops it and frowns and looks at the map and sighs. And she says, "Yeah. All right, what are you doing out here, I guess? Just surprising whoever comes by the road?"
No, you look like a bunch of chickens that escaped their coop and don't know where to go from that. And I mean, I came out here to get away from civilization as it was. But you'll scare away all the wildlife clumping around, clueless as you are. Where are you going?
Most of them look sheepish as you say all of this. The woman holding the map looks a little indignant. But you can see that she's swallowing her pride as she looks at you and she says, "We're doing some mining. Came upon a map by some, let's call it good fortune, to a pretty good vein of precious metals. We want to claim it, see if we can't make some gold for ourselves."
Well, I mean, to the finder go the spoils, but again, you look like chickens that just left the coop and don't really know where to go from here. I've a general idea of the layout of the land around here. Could you let me see your map and I could point you in the right direction?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
1. You know what? This is for nature. 10.
She looks at you. Her eyes sort of narrow. And she says, "I'm going to let you have this map, but maybe you can help me read it."
All right. That's literally what I want, but go ahead.
She sort of looks you up and down. You're not what you don't look like a bandit. You do look like a woodsman, a woods person. She's a
Thank you.
little
That's what I am.
skittish. But she does eventually sort of walk up towards you and show you the map.
All right.
As you look down at this map,
Just real quick, does Thorn have a map of at least this continent?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
She has a map of the world, basically.
Okay.
In her office that she uses.
Okay.
As you look at this map, what languages do you speak again?
I speak Elvish. Well, I can just Elvish, Orcish, Draconic, Giant, Sylvan, and Common.
As you look at this map, it's very strange. Typically, you'd think it was like written in Common or something like that. A lot of the signposts and elements on this map are written in Sylvan.
Ooh.
You can understand why these people might have some trouble reading this map, as they probably don't know how to read Sylvan at all.
So, first of all, I just need to know if we're in the same ballpark here. All right. Do you know what these words are? Because I see some traces of Sylvan here.
She looks at you like a little wide-eyed, like Sylvan, and then she thinks for a second. I'm gonna make a check for her, actually. And she just like stares at you blankly. I don't know what that language is.
Right. Do you know about any of the languages on this map?
No.
This is a very poor map for you, but I guess if you're following it, there is a picture.
I mean, yeah, that was the plan. We were gonna use the picture, follow the trail.
Can I just real quick read what the Sylvan says?
Yeah. So the Sylvan does describe this map. Or actually, go ahead and roll a survival check for me. Yeah. You can tell that the map is of the area at the very least. So it's not just like a map of some other strange place. From what you can read on the map as well, it is pointing towards the nearby mountains. And where it meets the end of the trail that's on the map, it says Blessed Mine. So from what you can see, that they are, the information they got about this map at least was probably true.
Okay. So tell me where it's pointing to them to, like the end of the mountain chain.
It's pointing them to a place near the mountains. Or at,
north side or south side?
At the mountains. This would be, here, let's go to the world map. So you guys are at Turnstile, which is towards here. Yeah. It goes southwest. Not exactly where you guys were, more west than that, like somewhere around here.
How is the map on the geography? Is it the same number of mountains?
On the map that you're reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Like I said, the map looks accurate to the area.
Right. So the ruin is a half a day's travel for an adventuring group, right?
Yes.
And the sort of convoy that they got here would probably, take a bit longer.
Yeah, I could say they could probably get there. It's like morning now. They did set out at morning. They could probably get there late afternoon.
Okay.
If you were guiding them, and depending on how well everyone rolls, it could be faster.
All right. Ishi's going to think for a moment, sort of take out a cellstone, type something real quick to probably Luna and Thorn. Luna to tell the rest of the group, and Thorn to just, keep Thorn apprised of Ishi's whereabouts. Just sort of like, I'm not with the group right now. And to the group, I'm probably gonna guide a bunch of bumbling idiots to a mine. But then Ishi sort of looks up, is like, well, with your convoy and crew, good news is that by late afternoon you could get to this mine if you go southwest, but I am honestly, I mean, just all cards out there on the table. I'm worried that you're going to get lost again. I can offer to be a guide for you, just there and back. I don't want any part of the mine. Yeah, you look like you need help, and my cousin says that I should help people in need.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Also, yeah, I don't know if it'll lower the DC or anything, but you see like show off like the emblem of like the untrimmed burrows.
Okay. You have a very earnest look about yourself, and as you explain everything to her, you can see her shoulders sort of fall and relax a little bit, and she turns back to the group and then turns to you and says, gods have been kind to us so far. I'm not going to say no to more of their help. All right. You don't have to lead us back. I think leading us there will be enough. We can probably make our way back if we know the way there.
I am glad to hear that. Yeah, if your men aren't too tired, let's go. The sooner we get started, the sooner you get there. I will say the Sylvan describes this as a blessed mine, so just, be careful.
She nods.
Just, sort of full disclosure. Again, don't need any part of your prize. It's just, my good deed for the week or so.
She laughs a little bit. All right. Like I said, I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. What's your name?
Easy.
Easy. My name's Carolyn. This here's I would say, I don't know, family. We've all been sort of down on our luck, looking for odd jobs in the city. We came upon this, and trying to change our luck. So thank you for that.
Of course. Well then, Carolyn, let's you and your family, let's go. I'm to be honest, I'm a lot more comfortable around a group as small as this compared to, actual city life. So I understand what you mean. I'm from a smaller town myself.
She nods. And as you guys walk, there's some small conversation here and there. Go ahead and roll me a survival check, please.
Yeah.
Yep. You feel almost guided to this mine. You think normally following a map and knowing your area, you could probably get there within 4 or 5 hours. Takes you 3.5 hours to get there. Even with everyone seems to be in high spirits, helping, moving along very quickly. You're very, I don't know if surprise is the right word, but they seem to work together very well. They look to be very competent, despite having looked like lost puppies before. They support each other very well. and they follow your lead very easily. And yeah, about 3.5 hours later, you make it to where the map points to the entrance of what does look like an abandoned mine. There's like that wooden framing around the entrance to the cave, and as you look towards the entrance, you can see that it does go pretty deep.
Right. Well, seeing them sort of like, work and support each other sort of reminds EC of, like literal like town life back where they grew up. Everyone sort of comes together as a community and helps things out. That sort of endears them to EC to the point where EC might try and see if there's any sort of unfriendly presence in the area.
Okay.
Since it's an abandoned mine and there's a map in Sylvan going towards it.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Alright, big money, no enemies.
Okay. EC sort of looks around the mine itself in the woods. EC doesn't notice anything. And EC does sort of go into the mine a little bit as these guys are like unloading tools and supplies and things like that. EC steps into the mine. EC doesn't know too much about mining, but it looks stable. It doesn't look like there's no like collapsed framing or anything like that. There's no like written warnings or anything like that either. It does look just to be like an abandoned mine.
All right, well, EC will sort of look around and not really finding anything of interest. He'll come back out to Carolyn. Well, I don't. As far as I can see, there's nothing unfriendly in the area, but just watch each other's backs. Not that you need to tell you that, but get out at the first sign of trouble. No mining spot is worth your life.
She nods, looks you in the eyes, and as she looks you in the eyes, you can see that her eyes are this sort of deep green, with flecks of amber in them. And she reaches out to shake your hand.
EC will shake the hand.
Gives you a firm handshake, looks at you, says, "You're from that untrimmed rose, right?"
That is correct.
I'll tell you what. You're probably going to find yourself, as long as everything goes well here, a package. Give you some of the spoils here. All right?
Well, I suppose if you feel like you need to do that, I'm not going to stop you, but make sure to keep most of it for yourselves. You need it.
She smiles and she says, "Oh, I definitely will. I appreciate the words, but yeah. Thank you very much. It's not can be a little uncommon in Turnstile and around these parts to find such kindness."
EC's concerned at that, but doesn't comment and just sort of nods and having the social acumen of a thumbtack, just sort of walks away and just sort of like gives a wave as they're going.
Yeah. You see many of the members wave as you leave. And yeah, you head back to the town. I would say it's probably late afternoon, almost evening by the time you get back.
Right. Then EC will just sort of probably hang around the Harlequin Inn.
Okay.
Sorry, the Harlequin's Fountain.
The Harlequin's Fountain. All right. EC's adventure for the day. The rest of you have been chatting, I see. What you guys have been talking about?
Luna invited people to the temple because she's going there anyway. And that seems like a place. She had already offered, like, if Nazrin didn't feel comfortable and needed another like avenue of escape, that Luna could probably get a couple beds at the temple.
Mm.
So the temple is open. Well, I mean, she's a acolyte, so the whole shelter of the faithful thing.
That she is.
So she has opened the invitation, and Nezrin and Aluna are like, sure, I'll tag along.
Yeah, I'll come as well, I guess.
All right, everybody's going to church.
Take me to church.
I resisted doing that.
We did not.
You are both lovely people, and I appreciate you.
Oh.
Don't you love how the most like religious person in the party is played by like a lifetime agnostic?
Hell yeah, brother. To be fair, your religion is Destiny.
Listen,
And
just because
I mean that literally and also figuratively.
there's that one image of the seal that looks like it's crying in our destiny.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the temple.
Okay, yeah. Takes you guys like 15-20 minutes to head to the temple, especially with Nezrin leading the way. Nezrin knows the city like the back of her hand, as much
got
as
that insider knowledge.
as much as she maybe doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, here you go.
Vacationing like a local.
All right, the Temple of the Seer. As you guys head over to the temple, Luna, you recognize the architecture of the temple almost immediately, even in this town so far away from the main temple in the City of Light. You can see that there was care taken even to how it was built. The stone and marble are carved to look almost bony in appearance, with sharp points out of reach for most people, like up at the tops of the pillars and walls. But there's also like how do I describe this?
Carefully.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you.
With zest and vigor.
Daily.
Let me see if I can't get some help.
Are you thinking like Savathun's Throne World sort of vibes?
Yeah.
By get
know
some
that
help,
means-
Gabe, are you going to describe?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, there's a website called describe.com and it'll give you cool descriptions and stuff. It's like a thing. This is
Can you post it?
Oh yeah. Let me find it. I just watched some YouTubers who are in the D&D scene who get sponsored by them from time to time.
Oh, fancy.
I don't know if it requires a subscription or not.
We'll,
But there's like different subscription plans and stuff.
we'll find out in a moment. Whenever you post it. There it is.
Ah.
Places. Did it click?
Oh, some of them audio too.
Interesting. Let me see. I don't think they'd have this. What I'm thinking of. Let me just get a picture and then we can all try and describe it together. How about that?
Show and tell.
Oh, this is perfect. I'm going to copy the image. Copy the image address and also open it up here so that the chat can see too. This is the sort of architecture, much less grandiose because it's a temple in a smaller town. But it's very pointy. Yeah, I would almost say like bony in the way that it's carved.
Osseo-evocative.
Yeah. It's the temple's been ossified. Yes, exactly.
Man, I went to a fucking bone chapel in the Czech Republic. It is the coolest fucking place I've ever been in my entire
That
life.
honestly sounds metal as hell.
It is metal as fuck. It's 40,000 human bones it's decorated.
Holy shit.
Whoa, that's cool.
They got like a
Dope
bunch
as
of them.
fuck.
The bones here, though, are not human, or the style of the architecture is not human bonish. It almost looks like a dried out insect's carapace. Very fibrous. Very
Chitinous?
yes, chitinous, exactly.
Yeah.
It's on the verge of being off-putting. Not quite there. But if they were to lean more into it, it would definitely be a little off-putting. And in the City of Light, it does like push past that off-putting aura. Although for Luna, it feels like home. There's nothing off-putting about it.
Yeah, it's she's been away from home for so long that she's not even like, oh, this is less creepy than I expected. This is just like, the taste of home.
Exactly.
Fun, familiar. Nazrin is super into it.
Bones.
This is cool.
Vince kind of looks up, squints. I don't know about all this.
What's wrong?
That's a lot of fucking bones, that.
Is it really bones, though, or is it just made to look like bones?
No, I don't think they
Depends
just
on
go
the
around like
temple.
crafting bones. They
Depends
just
on the temple.
They just use bones, I think.
The older temples do use some bones of followers who have volunteered their remains, but for the most part, it's regular building materials, stone, all the classics.
Yeah, if any of you do want to make an investigation check to double check that, you can.
Gladly. I love investigating.
Nezrin's great at investigating.
I love to check things and be checked.
Nice. 19 from a fawn. Yeah, as you guys sort of look a little closer, while it is very well carved and very well made, it is not actual bone. It is like stone and marble carved very meticulously, but carved to look like bone.
Listen, I've seen plenty of bones in the past, and this isn't bones.
I feel like Elizabeth, like... Sorry.
I suspect in a town like this, any physical remains that are used are in the more private places in the temple. They are not for public view. That would be a bit off-putting.
Maybe the man of the arts, I feel like it'd be a lot less effort to just use bone.
Well, there's the artistic side of evoking something that nature has created and some divinity in imitating it with your own life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm kind of here to learn anyways, so take it
Well,
for what it is.
welcome. Also out of character, just a second.
As the rest of you look around, I know Zoe's away, but I'll just do this little bit of description. You can also see there are a few other temples. The Temple of the Seer is not the largest of all of them, but it is decent. Nesrin, you know that this is newer. Not after you left, but it was much smaller when you were still in town.
Gotcha. That's cool.
You didn't really know too much about it. You probably didn't have too much of an interest in like the temples, so it
Right.
probably didn't. You didn't like come around too often.
The biggest thing that Nesrin was maybe interested in was that it was like made of seemingly bones, and she's like, "That's cool architecture. I want to live in a house like that one day."
She knows what she's about.
Yeah. But yeah, she's never really had a huge interest in like religion itself. So she's like, "Oh yeah, it's the Bone Temple," but doesn't know anything past that.
It's like going to cathedrals and appreciating the architecture.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The doors to the temple are open. And as you walk in, you can see there are a few people sort of sitting in the pews worshiping, and there are a few what look to be acolytes in attendance walking around. Inside of the temple, you can see a lot of the architecture is very similar. The pews look like carved wood. Most of them are just like regular pews, like flat backed, flat seats. But around the ends of the pews, you can see, and all of the wood of the pews as well. It looks like it's bleached wood. And the ends of the pews have been carved to match the surrounding architecture.
Cool.
There are a few candles lit and set in that have that same architecture. They look to be even the candles themselves, actually, the fresher ones at least, looks like the wax is carved very similar. They've got a theme going on there. They like to stick to it.
Mm-hmm. We love a theme.
And the pulpit, you can see, and this one, I'm just going to keep your investigation checks here. This one you can tell is made of bones. The pulpit itself does look like it is made of bones. Carved, bleached white, very like outwardly spiky, but in a way that it's not like normally when you think of like a spiky pulpit or something like that, it's like to project power or danger. But the way this is carved, sort of with the spikes pointing down and up, it's almost like a cage.
Mm-hmm.
And projects more of a, weirdly enough, a sense of safety, depending on what you might take of it. But it's not that typical sort of, like if you saw like, I don't know if any of you have much experience with like evil cults, like an evil cult's pulpit would be like really spiky and dangerous looking and like projecting power. This is not the same.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
At the pulpit, you can see there is an elven woman reading from a book. Who, with people here and people walking by, doesn't specifically look up as you guys enter.
This place is really cool, Luna.
Thank you. You should see the one in the City of Light.
Oh, I'd love to sometime, yes. Is it also very bony?
Even more bony, if you can believe it.
Oh, wow. I can.
She's lowered her voice a little bit because the kind of the main area there are people concentrating on doing what they're doing.
Now, is this here associated with death or bones, or I thought it was just prophecy in the future?
Well, the future is full of death. So is the past. So it's partly about accepting that as inevitability and how we will all eventually go back to it.
That's pretty metal. Memento mori.
Haha, you just remembered you're gonna die someday.
Oh no, I lost the game.
No!
The most metal game.
So, this here's clearly the pulpit. Down that hallway, and it looks like to the left, there's a bit of a garden. There's going to be lots of moths and other insects there, so if that's not your scene, you should probably avoid that. There should be a small library if this is the same layout as home. But I'm going to go pay my respects to the leadership here. Just say a little hello, you know?
Of course.
Avan pokes his head inside the temple, takes one look around, and then just goes and sits on a bench outside and starts smoking.
Truly, I love that, man. He's like, you know what? I support all my friends and their weird shit, but just gonna go sit out there and smoke.
If it ain't for him, it ain't for him.
Don't put me in a situation.
he's very much. I would rather not be in a situation. Thank you.
Yep. No, I'm good. No situations for me, thank you.
He's gonna be people watching. Are there more temples in this area?
There are. Yes, you were away while I described it, but yeah, there are other temples. The Temple of the Seer is not the largest of the area, but it is like it's also like not the smallest either. It's pretty well sized. But there are definitely a few other temples here as well.
I forget that the title that my mom has. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's the principal of another school.
Oh, it's just High Priestess. Okay.
Oh, that's superintendent.
Luna, like, finds a nearby acolyte and kind of walks over to them. Excuse me. Hello.
You see, this is a human man with dark brown hair. Looks at you and he nods and he says, "Hello, welcome to the Temple of the Seer. How may I assist you?"
Do you know which way the priestess's offices are? I've come to pay my respects. I'm visiting from the City of Light.
Oh, of course. Thanks for a moment. Over there. And you see he was like getting his bearings and he points towards the back where the pulpit is. There seems to be a side door on the left and right, and he's pointing to the door on the right.
Perfect. Thank you very much. She has she's kind of code switched a little bit. She's not quite as peppy, but she's still very happy to be there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can come with me if you like. I'm not really going to be exchanging secrets or anything.
Sure.
This kind of got the vibe of someone who's at a church that isn't his, but is attempting to be polite, but is also just like.
I do think you would enjoy the garden. You can just sit in there and vibe. There's a lot of mosses.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nezrin's like on a kid on a field trip. Like, what's that? What's that? Ooh, a garden, moss. And it is probably asking lots of questions that not a normal person would ask.
Yeah. It's kind of like he does know about the seer stuff. Obviously, it gestures to our standard, but also like from like his own stuff. He's just never been like more than like maybe ankle deep in seer stuff. So
He's never been in the organized religion part of it, just like the general vibes of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go check out the garden. Should be interesting, actually.
Okay. Usually,
Fix that.
if the door's open, you should be fine to go through it.
Is it a courtyard? Is it okay if I smoke?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
All right, cool. Not, I might not. We'll see.
If there's not a ceiling, you can smoke.
That's not. Thank
It's a
you.
cool rule.
I just made that rule up. Guess who's making shit up about a temple? It's Zoe. Okay, anyway.
We already know they're cool about
she's
that.
She's gonna have Nezrin follow along like a very excited puppy dog.
Yes, ma'am.
And she is going to. I guess she's going to look around and see what offices are like open and someone's in there.
As she goes back there are on the right side, there's it like opens up into a small waiting area. There's a few chairs there. There looks to be like a small fountain as well. As far as open offices, I don't think any of them are open at the moment. But Luna can like actually roll a perception check for me. Both of you, if you'd like.
Yeah. Damn.
Ooh, we're so distracted.
I know what's happening.
It's hard to tell through the closed doors. You can't hear any talking behind them or anything like that, but Luna rather err on the side of safety here and not open any of the doors. Not open any of the doors just in case they're interrupting anyone. So you guys can take a seat there in the waiting room if you would like.
Let's give it a few minutes and see if anyone comes by.
Sure.
Probably give it like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Desmond's just like kicking her feet in the air as they're waiting, sitting on the bench.
I'm sure she's asking questions as well.
Yes. Probably just like, oh, what does that mean? Like, how did they build that? Like, what does this mean in the religion?
She's not as good at answering the how was that built stuff, but she can tell you if that's a common visual element in the architecture of the temples and things like that.
Cool. I, Riley, am a little brain dead and can't come up with cool questions to ask, but Nezrin, who is a nerd, would have a lot of questions.
How dare you?
I would suggest that perhaps that Riley is also a nerd, but Nezrin is less brain dead currently than Riley.
Nezrin is a nerd with energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All right, I'm picking out some tokens here. That's why I'm taking so long. I apologize.
No
How
worries.
dare you?
Maybe I shouldn't just make them all women. I do that. I just default to making all of them women. Maybe I should pick a non-female token.
I guess.
Nah, fuck it. They're all women. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Men have had it too good for too long.
Listen,
No, we haven't.
listen. As long as you don't outright say "I respect men less," then we're good.
Yeah, I don't disrespect men or respect men less. I just love women. I just love women more.
Love and respect are different things.
Listen, I am a certified women respecter, okay?
All right, where do you get your certificate?
The School of Life.
Whoa.
The school
Never
of
heard of that
hard
one.
times, baby.
Women's rights and women's wrongs.
I absolutely support women's rights and women's wrongs. Women deserve to do wrongs as much as they want. Outside of the doors, as you guys watch, a few minutes after you guys are sitting, one of the doors open and two of the God damn it, Adam. You love women? Name all of their albums.
You
Love women. Name all women.
Yeah, you love women. Name 3.
For $1, name a woman.
I'll name all women. Oh God, what's her name? She's a wonderful singer.
Who is she?
Oh, I'm every woman. It's all in me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whitney
That
Houston.
isn't
There we go.
Gloria Estefan, is it?
Yeah. Name every woman. Whitney Houston.
Done.
Done.
God damn it.
Uh,
They went and did it. I didn't see that coming.
Anyway, as the door opens, out walks. She's not here yet. Like, oh right, I'm not on the wrong layer. She's not here yet. First, these two women come out. They seem to be wearing simple robes. And they come out sort of talking to each other. And they notice Nezrin and Luna sitting there. They sort of look at you. And the woman with the black hair speaks first. She says, hello, may I help you?
Luna stands and inclines her head a little bit. Hello, I'm an acolyte from the City of Light. I am passing through, and I wanted to pay my respects to not necessarily the high priestess, but a priestess who's here today.
She nods. You can see the red-headed woman sort of looking at you. I wouldn't say distrustful, but she's examining you up and down a little bit. And the dark-haired woman looks. My name is Milia. This is one of our acolytes here as well. Her name is Blossom. And Blossom sort of like nods at both of you. And the high priestess would be. Hold on, I do have a name for her. I just had it. Lady Hildegard. Or, I guess she wouldn't be high priestess. She'd be the priestess. Give me 1 second. I gotta plug my headphones in. I forgot. Lady Hildegard. She should be in her office. If you'd like, I can knock and see if she's busy.
Is that her office? And she points to the door that they were just coming out of.
No, it's the one, and she points to the one right next to theirs.
Oh, perfect. I can just knock. It's if you think I need an introduction.
Whatever you prefer. I'm sure she would be happy to see another acolyte from one of our sister temples. I guess it would be the Mother Temple, right?
I suppose so. She looks a little bemused at that. Well, I guess I'll speak to her. Thank you so much, Millian. Nice to meet you both. Blossom?
She gives you like a curt nod. And nods.
And let's... how's Nezrin handling the scrutiny?
She's doing all right. I don't think she like has any inkling that like here is linked to like the stuff she's actually worried about. So she's kind of just like along the ride, is like enjoying and observing, not too bothered by the scrutiny.
Okay, then Luna is gonna go take a little knock on the door, see if she can talk to Lady Hildegard.
Yeah. As you knock on the door, um, there's a sweet sounding voice that comes from inside, and she says, "Come in."
Luna thusly opens the door.
Behind a desk, you can see a very well groomed woman, pale skin, these deep red eyes, and a smile on her face. She seems to be wearing just a simple set of robes. Although you can see her robes almost match yours, very similar color scheme of the seer. As she smiles and she says, "Welcome. How may I assist you?"
Well, I wanted to pay my respects since I'm visiting, and I also wanted to seek some advice.
Of course, I thank you very much for your visit. Where are you coming from?
The City of Light.
Oh, well, you're on a long pilgrimage. Did you come here just to visit us, or?
I'm here with some other work, but I bring good tidings from High Priestess Michaela of the city. Um,
Thank you. I'm
and
very glad to hear that.
and Evelyn says hello.
Uh, She smiles very wide. That's very good to hear. I'm glad to hear Evelyn is doing well. Well, if you had a few questions, I would hear. And then she sort of motions towards the few a couple of seats in front of her desk. Take a seat. And
This is my companion Nezrin, and I know that Riley's not here, so I figure Nezrin just kind of like nods hello.
mhm.
Um,
She
and
nods and greets Nezrin. She says, "Well, close the door behind you. Take a seat. I'd love to help you."
close the door, take a seat. Well, I how do I explain this? Um, I am on a mission to make things happen, as it were. That is part of my purpose, and something did happen, and I feel like that the the faith should know about it. We awakened an avatar of the god Kapak, and one of my other companions received that power. So I feel like that's kind of a big deal.
She looks at the both of you, um, a little confused.
The avatar did wither away and die, I think.
Avatar.
Can't believe Luna's telling the fucking God police on Easter.
The Gops!
That feels like it's a slur.
Yeah.
Those goddamn cops.
My
Oh
God.
no.
He looks a little confused. Sort of leans in a little bit, her hands clasped together. Now, which goddess is this?
Um, I would say about 1400, maybe 1500 years ago, this was a goddess of war and sovereignty and,
Rulership, right?
yes, I was going to say kingship, but that's not quite the right word. But yes, of the rule of law, divine right to rule, um, such themes as that. It seems that this god was interred in a temple that was actually not too far from the city. But the more important part is, well, that I feel like big things are coming, and one of my companions has godlike power, and I'm a little Confused. And I'm wondering if you know of any precedent of this sort of thing.
She looks deep in thought, looking between the two of you and then sort of into the empty space above you. There's a few moments before she speaks of just silence, and then she breaks it and says, well, I mean, as you know, the seer herself was once a mortal being and became a god. So, I mean, there is precedence of mortals becoming gods.
Did all gods turn out that way? Is that how they're all made?
I don't know. I believe there are gods who were always gods, but there are many gods who were mortal. I'm gonna roll a history check for her.
I think this might beg a bit of a background explanation for Luna remembering stuff. I guess what she remembers of the kind of the story and the scholarly thinking about the seer's ascension.
What do you mean?
Because I think I'm wondering if the seer's ascension to godhood was anything similar, like
right.
the passing down of power, the design, the the big magic pillar that zapped Luna and the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but didn't zap EC. That's that kind of thing.
If you want to go ahead and roll a history check as well, she just rolled one to see if she can remember any other mortals turning into gods. A 25. Okay.
Because I know 1400 years is a little bit outside of living person history in this world. At least, like, most living people haven't been around that long.
Yeah, there may be a couple of elves who've lived that long,
but they're not like necessarily common, and they're not necessarily sharing information.
Yeah. As she's in thought, you're in thought as well. There's a moment where both of you are just sort of thinking. And that's when you're watching these two sort of like rack their brains of religious history. And Luna, you remember reading an ancient tome in back in the City of Light. You remember reading, this was not an alternate telling of the story of the seer, just one that had different, maybe not different, more focus on certain aspects.
I have a question.
Yes.
About how old would you spitball that the temple of this year and sort of the whole organization is? So I guess how long ago, or how long have people been worshiping the seer like this?
The seer is, I mean, comparatively speaking, depending on what god you're talking about, a newer god, but they've still been around for over 2,000 years.
Okay.
Um,
So I remember this kind of alternate telling.
Yeah, you remember this alternate telling. The main story goes that the seer finds a way to become a god and to share her gift with the world, basically. This telling of the story goes into a little bit more detail, where the seer finds an artifact, and this artifact could potentially make her a god, but there's a risk. It also has the potential to utterly destroy her. But because of her support from, I don't know if this story would tell that. It would say that she had support. I think you, now knowing the full story, know that support was probably coming from the Drifter.
But this artifact thing sounds a little familiar.
Yes, this artifact that she used to attain godhood. There's not much of a description of it, but there's a description of the danger that it holds. That it could cause her utter destruction. So much so that it could have erased her from history, basically, from existence.
Okay. Luna brings this up. It's not a super like well-known text, I would wager.
No.
That she does bring it up.
But the Mother Temple has a lot of like ancient texts like that are, or like maybe apocryphal, different tellings of different stories. Hildegard nods as you say that, and then she says, if my memory is correct, there are a few other gods who have attained godhood from being mortal. One of the ones that I remember is sorry, give me 1 second. I gotta pull up one of the gods that I remember this being true about is Prosper, as well as a lesser god named Celebrim, the seer, obviously. I believe the goddess of children, Gavi, as well.
And these are just other stories of people ascending from personhood to sort of a godhood.
Yes, mortals becoming deities. I don't know the specifics of these other gods, but I have heard of them. Heard of their stories at the very least.
And this is for Zoe. What was the last one?
So there was Celebrim, which I will write for you. Prosper and Gavi. Let me go ahead and find Celebrim. Celebrim is not on the list of common gods.
I do know how to spell Celebrimbor, so.
It's spelled different than Celebrimbor.
Okay.
Oh, they didn't forge the rings.
Oh, God.
Sorry, they did not forge the Elvrims. The elf rings, I should say. They are based off of Celebrimbor, though. Man, you guys know me too well.
I just remember Rings of Power, you know?
That's fair.
So I guess the next step that Luna would want to take is looking into those stories and see if they have that similar vein of an artifact or a thing that could either give them power or absolutely wreck them.
I could start looking for such a thing in my cities.
That would be useful. The more information is better.
Right. I'll write that down.
I do appreciate these kind of subtle tenets that we've kind of made in these faiths, in at least this faith, of having a support system and knowing things, not keeping unnecessary secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, the seer is all about sharing truth. She is not going to hide truth.
I do you spell Gavi? I was guessing Gaavi.
Gavi.
Chef.
I stole that name too.
It sounds familiar.
Listen, everything's a play on something else.
That's
You're
true.
fine.
Also, is Prosper Tomebound?
Yes.
Yeah.
Prosper of the Tome. Gavi is also nest warden Gavi.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
I like how some of us pick up on different references.
I reference a wide variety of things, so there's something there for everybody.
It's lovely.
She looks at you and she says, "We have a small library here. I would absolutely would allow you to look through it and research any of the history, but I will say it is mostly of stories of the seer and visions that she has given. I don't know how helpful it would be to find information on other gods, but they may be there."
Well, if we're meant to find something helpful, this is the best place to look for it, right?
She nods.
And thank you for listening to my tale. I don't think my friend has any aims of being a leader of mortals. I don't think there's going to be any sort of. She wiggles her fingers, possibly a bit dismissively. Disruption in the greater order of the inner politics. That has never been my area of expertise.
They seem to just want to be a good hunter, so
That's true.
maybe now they will be a divinely good hunter.
A very, very, very good hunter.
You see,
A great hunter.
you see, she actually sort of looks in, like, deep in thought after you mention your friend, and says, "I believe there are stories of godhood being thrust upon people. If what you say is true, even if your friend has no desire, I think responsibility may be coming upon them regardless."
Fuck.
That makes a lot of sense. The old chestnut of great power and great responsibility.
Of course.
EC looks at the responsibility. I hate civilization. I don't want to rule it.
Okay, thank you very much, Lady Hildegard. You have been a very huge help in our journey here.
Oh, absolutely. She looks a little distracted, but she nods, and smiles at you.
Would you like to keep in touch about this at all?
I think I would, actually. This feels important.
You have a cell stone? She pulls out her little Motorola razor of a cell stone. Not the new one, the old one.
Hell yeah. You can play Snake on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hydra.
wait, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Hydra.
What do we call it?
Yeah,
Hydra.
we made a really unbalanced version of Snake.
Sorry. Oh, Hydra cracks me up every time. Yeah, she opens a drawer in her desk and pulls out a cellstone. And yeah,
Put them together like a toast.
you guys exchange numbers. You can add Lady Hildegard to your contact list.
Yeehaw.
Now, if an entire Inquisition comes after EC, EC has no idea why.
So, Luna.
Yes?
Your affiliation with the Seer here, other than the normal powers one would be granted by, worshipping a deity so much that they are granted powers, do you see the future? Do you get visions?
I have the skill, a well practiced and cultivated skill, to make small predictions, and that is one of the ways that uh, acolytes and clerics and other and priestesses uh, do outreach in the community, I suppose is the way to put it. People come to us for small peeks into the future, and we can generally, when we are given power and are taught to hone it, we can make these small peaks and give people not necessarily the information they want, but the information they need. Some are much better at it than others. The seers with a clear talent and skill for it, they go on to, some of them have very broad, grand visions of the future, and while some of them may be taken with a grain of salt, some of them are, let's say, some of them are induced using tinctures, drugs, other such substances.
Mhm.
We do try to record as many as we can to cross reference.
I see. I would be very curious to see such a notation of visions and oracular events. But I guess I was just curious about it all. And if it could be taught.
Uh,
Well,
you actually see when after Luna mentions that, Nezrin, as you bring that up, you see Hildegard speaks up. Evelyn is the one of, I think, the oldest acolyte still on this earth to the seer. Um, she's taught most of the priestesses who have gone out into the world to start temples. I believe she taught you as well, didn't she, Luna?
she did. That is correct. She is definitely the oldest acolyte in the City of Light to the seer. I don't know about the other faiths.
She has gone so far as to almost exist between the planes. Um,
Oh wow! Between planes.
the,
That you do, from what she's told me, you do have to sacrifice connections to this one.
she gave up. Well, not gave up. The plane that we, or I guess we and the seer connect to, is the ethereal plane. To give us perspective on what is happening now and what may happen in the future. And Evelyn um, lost an arm to the ethereal plane, although she still has it in a way.
It's just somewhere else.
You can see its presence on her.
I'm going to be quite honest. I had forgotten about her arm until you mentioned it. It's just
You grew up with
such
her. It just seems like a part of her. But yes, her arm is between planes in a way.
That is fascinating. It's just I'm looking for someone and something and for a way to get somewhere. I have lots of questions that I'm seeking answers for, and I don't know. Perhaps it would be easier to find the answers if I could look ahead to when I find them.
Um,
You know?
I
not.
think that
Oh, go ahead.
I think that you can learn the skill, but the connection to the divine is what makes that last step, that makes that final connection. You can build the bridge, but only so far, and that divine element finishes the bridge.
I see.
But that is
That
also
is
why we are here, servants of the seer. If there are questions that you have, um, you may be able to use our services at the temple here to perform a ritual and try and receive answers.
Perhaps I will. At some time. All I know is I was given a very confusing fortune by another member of the Seer's worshippers, and well, I don't know, maybe some more clarity on that could be useful.
sometimes the answers can be as confusing as the questions.
That's okay. I'm used to confusing answers. But anything is progress.
Of course.
But I will think on this, and perhaps return if I'm in need of your services.
Thank you again, Lady Hildegard. This has been extremely helpful. We may come to use the library in the next few days. Probably going to go visit it right now.
Of course, feel free. I'll let the acolytes know that you have all but free reign here. As a fellow priestess of the seer, what is ours is yours.
Thank you so much. And obviously you have the same warm welcome if you ever journey to the city.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna dip.
We dipping
politely.
Yep.
We should go outside and talk to Aluna and Afan, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Head to the garden where they're smoking.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't it be so crazy if I leveled up and took another level in Wizard and then took Divination Wizard?
Bro, I love Divination Wizard.
I was considering Divination Wizard when thinking about this character, but I decided Wizard is out of my league mechanically.
That's fair.
Well, I'm leaving it open as an option, because I think that would be a useful Wizard subclass to take. And I already have a Necromancer Wizard in another game, and I don't want to do the same thing twice.
You've got Necromancer Warlock, don't worry.
Yeah, I got Necromancer Warlock.
Let's cut to Afan and Alun, who are smoking in the garden. Here in the garden.
I'm sorry, you typed to me and I just saw it now.
It's alright, I only typed it like 2 minutes ago. So.
Okay.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you. We should take a short break.
Okay. Oh,
let's-
your phones are stuck.
Sorry. Yeah, we should take a short break, get some water, go to the bathroom, whatever you might need. We'll be back in like 5 minutes.
We can just do that in text so that when they come out of the thing, we can just get
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, we can just pop into that. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
Hello? Woo? Hello? Okay, it's the sound is not coming up in let's see, in OBS. Let me add it again. Oh. What are you looking up? Alright, test. Can you guys hear me? Okay, why is it not? Yeah, Discord's being stinky. Okay, try now. No, you can hear me, but OBS isn't showing you up, but it was before. Oh. Okay, try again. No, it's not working. What the fuck? I agree. Oh, that's funny. I can't. Okay, it's not hearing any of my audio at all except for my microphone. Itadakimasu?
Yes, quite.
Okay. I at least have the desktop audio running. I don't know why Discord isn't running, but whatever. So I can hear you guys, or OBS can hear you guys now at least.
Nice.
Okay, whatever.
Wait, dang, I can't say all my racist slurs now.
Sorry, now you can't say your racist
No.
slurs.
Gop.
Gops.
You damn. I'm not gonna say something that might be a slur, honestly.
I don't think gops is a slur. I think you're okay.
I think it rhymes with a different slur that
It rhymes with a slur, yeah.
Yeah.
Cops?
Yes, that's the one.
It's one against Italians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Italians aren't a real race.
I think they
Well,
would disagree with that.
They're not a race. They're a nationality.
Yeah.
It's not racism. It's xenophobia. It's a different thing.
Cool.
Also, they're Italian, so it's funny.
A
Exactly.
secret third thing, not racism, not xenophobia. A secret third thing.
Italians love to say, "I'm not white. I'm Italian." So you know what? I feel fine saying that.
That's a gross overgeneralization.
I live in New Jersey. I see it all the time.
yeah. Come on, dude. You don't live in New Jersey.
I used to live pretty close to New Jersey.
I keep getting reminded of this bit from my brother and me.
Oh my goodness. Are we all back?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you guys finish your text RP if you want.
No, it's fine. We can just talk. Loon lights the blunt. Is just like, don't worry about it. I'm not really like a cleric or anything, so it's probably not gonna do anything anyways. Just giving it a shot.
All right.
He lights that shit the fuck up. And he sits on the bench cross-legged and is attempting to meditate, I guess. And after like 3 minutes of silence, he's like, "Are you there, Seer? It's me, Loon."
You really want to try and meditate?
Sure.
All right, go ahead and
Are
roll.
you there, Seer?
Go ahead
Your
and roll.
boy.
Go ahead and roll a religion check.
I'm not your boy, actually.
I love a loon.
I also love a loon. 7.
This goes as well as expected.
So a lot of moths around you attracted to your smoke, so you feel like there's a connection there.
Can I do so bad I dial up Pelor? I think that is... No, that's not that one. Okay, we're good.
That's really
Wrong
fucking
number
funny.
5.
You feel like you're in the presence of the seer, with all the moths sort of hovering around you.
You're so seen.
Avan is absolutely shooing away the moths because I and Avan hate moths.
That's fair.
Alu's nodding like he gets it, but I don't think he's actually getting anything.
I think that's like Aloon's default like position. It's just nod like you get it, and then things will turn out okay.
Yeah.
Love how I told this priestess about like my friend, the now a god, I guess, and didn't say anything about the apocryphal like stuff about the drifter.
Priorities.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think our standard wanted that on blast anyways yet.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. A little bit of what's the word? Not subtlety.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that one.
Hush, hush.
Yeah.
Discretion.
Discretion. That's the.
Thank you,
Michael. Thank you. Your brain is so much bigger than ours.
My brain's activated because I'm playing Minecraft.
Hell
yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, yeah. As you're like, as Afan is shooing away the mods, and the Luna's like, yeah, I'm here. I get this. Luna and Nezrin, you guys walk into the garden.
Hello.
Hello, we're back. Enjoying the garden? She looks at Aloon, decides not to interrupt whatever he's doing.
I think Aloon might be enjoying the garden a little bit too much, if you know what I mean.
I
think
see.
she's called the seer because I can see so far.
Oh hell.
Yeah, I think we should go before he gets himself into trouble.
Okay. I wanted to check because you two aren't nearly as enthusiastic about this as Nezrin has been. Not that you need to be.
Just not really a god person, you know.
Me
Like,
neither.
they've
I
not
get you.
really ever done anything to help me out, so why the fuck
Mhm.
should I care about anything that they've got to say or do, you know?
I understand. So, is there anything you'd like to do?
I think we should. I mean, I know that EC was skeptical about it, but I think we should probably go and like talk to people about the wizard money bugger whatever.
The Shadow
Shadow Wizard Money
Wizard-
Gang. He snaps
Shadow
out of
Wizard.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, that thanks, Saloon. Yeah, that lot. So we should probably go and talk to somebody about them and at least see if we can find anything out. Like if they're from around here or if they're like from out of town and they just kind of happen to stumble upon the ruins. Like how did they find out about that? Because it's not like unless they were passing by or they're from the area that they were gonna know how would they know that they were there?
Absolutely, I agree. Maybe the city guard would know a little bit about them if they seem like the,
I
for lack
mean,
of a better word, hooligans that they seem to be.
maybe, but I feel like we're probably more likely to get from like if we go to a pub,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
had a thought of maybe like an adventurers guild usually might have a bit more spread than like a pub if they can find like a smaller one, local one or something.
I
They
mean,
might
yeah,
have seen
that's
some weirdos in pajamas.
Would they let us in? Considering she kind of fiddles with her little untrimmed rose pin that she's got on her chest.
It's
She's
not
she,
always bad to talk to competition, especially since like I'm sure Adventurers Guild, if there's like a huge fuck problem, they want to maintain relationships with each other. So
okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Loon goes off his mercenary logic actually, but does not necessarily mention that.
Hey, logic is logic.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we could go try. I don't know, like um, Nesrin, do you know if there's any adventurers guilds around here, or is it just the pubs?
Riley,
I
go.
do not burst to a pub.
Oh,
Riley, go ahead and make a history check for me with advantage.
will do. I'm great at history. I love historians.
You are good at history. You got a +4.
4 and
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Nesrin, you would know that while there are many adventuring types who pass through the city, not many of them stay long enough for like a proper guild to be established.
Mm-hmm.
But there are pubs where they congregate.
I know the one where the most of them congregate as well.
This is
Yeah,
what I wanted to go.
there's two main ones. The Midnight Summoner is where some of them congregate, especially some of the fancier ones. People with a little bit more money.
But most of the adventurers.
But most of the adventurers, and you know this because you've seen some of the job lists there and you've seen people stop in and out, get drinks, stay for the night.
I've talked to so many of them.
You've talked to so many of them and you've served them many a drink. The bearded lady.
Yeah. So Nesrin kind of like recedes into herself a little bit, like, no, there's not really any specific adventuring guild in town. There's not enough permanent adventurers to establish anything, but they certainly do congregate here as they pass through, in a number of different areas.
Oh yeah, like where?
Name one area. No.
Well, they frequent the taverns. I hear that Midnight Summoner is a great place to go if you're looking for adventuring types. Although not a lot of them are there, they're just the rich ones.
Yeah, they wouldn't be hanging around the rich ones if there's a Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Those chains looked pretty cheap.
I suppose.
Holy shit, how rude.
then I guess the other place to go and find adventurers consistently in the city is a tavern. It's actually close by, just past the market square and in the Market Hill district. It's called the it's called it's called the Bearded Lady.
The gears in Loon's head turn for a little bit. He's like, "Is that the one?"
Whoever wants to roll an insight check can absolutely roll one.
I remember that Nezrin told, I think it was Luna.
No, it's not the one.
Nope.
Ah, shit.
Nazrin seems fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Oh, should I roll deception?
No, not really deception. I think this is just like a vibe check.
I see. I have a +5 to deception, Gabe.
You're not really trying to deceive anybody. You're just this
Too
is just
sweaty
like,
to deceive us.
if anything, it would be a performance check.
Ah,
I had an idea, but then I. Oh.
Never mind. Nezrin cannot keep a straight face. All of you
This feels
can
like.
recognize that something is up.
That set of rolls really feels like, and so they were both bottoms.
oh my god, yeah.
I had an idea. If we can stop at a shop and get like a disguise kit. That comes
I'm
with,
just
like,
gonna
a
cast
tool,
Disguise
right?
Self.
Oh my god, please let it just be a pair of glasses and a mustache.
She's already got glasses.
Yeah, no.
Second pair of glasses on top.
Nessun will just swap glasses.
We're gonna slog glasses. Okay, but I might not be able to see very well.
Yeah, I also might not be able to see any well if there's a prescription.
Oh, that would be funny.
I mean,
Let's
it'd be
do
funny,
it.
but okay.
Kit, do you have that spell?
What?
Don't you have that spell?
Which
The,
spell?
the disguisey one?
You know, I've never tried to disguise myself with magic. Let me think. And Nazra's gonna close her eyes and just think about like, oh, looking like a different person. Look like a different person. I want to be someone else. I want to be someone else. And maybe like a little bit of that dark, shadowy, sans money wizards or gangs. Ink kind of like drips around the brim of her eyes, and then like it drips down onto her face, and then like spreads out in ripples and begins to like shift in color, kind of like a chameleon scales would shift in color, but it's ink. And her like whole entire form starts to change. And I will cast Disguise Self.
I don't know if any of you guys ever watched the Teen Titans movie, but it's like that.
I probably should have.
Oh, hell yeah! That's a great way to describe it. Okay.
I didn't describe it, to be fair. I just made a reference to it.
That's
but yes.
great. The way it is depicted in the movie is a great way to describe this.
But yes, it's
you
like,
did it.
It is like almost like a ink forming around Nezrin to make a new form. Which Nezrin, what does that form look like?
So it's got square glasses, first of all,
Okay.
instead of circle glasses.
Yeah, that'll throw him off for sure.
Yeah, that'll really throw him off. I don't know. I think that Nezrin's gonna turn into like an amalgam of like Luna and Elune and Afan and Isi and Florian, just like really anamorphs
Party
it.
love
And
child.
yeah, the party love child. I think, and she's gonna become like a perfect like middle slider between all the other party members.
Zoe, it's what's his face from the mini campaign.
God, what is his face?
It's
This is my favorite episode of Monster Factory.
The token you used was like the average.
Yeah, it was like the average of all the.
Oh, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy, of course.
His picture was like an average of like all of these photographs of like men in this one country.
Yeah, so Nezrin
Has anybody ever seen A Scanner Darkly?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
You
like
can
the
watch
suits and this kind of dark. blue.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Except it's not constantly shifting. It's just like it. It almost looks weirder than if Nezrin had just picked one person.
Well, that's you're gonna need a voice to go with this.
That's
Really?
the Luna influence.
I should change my voice.
Yeah, because like, what if they recognize you? You kind of have a somewhat distinct voice.
I suppose.
I guess maybe not around
What if
here.
I am just mute?
You could pretend not
So
to know
fun.
common. Speak a different
Ooh.
language.
That is a fun
He's
idea.
speaking-
I'll do that.
Cockney rhyming slang.
And
What?
Luna, you could be my translator.
Sure. What do you want to speak?
What language do you know that your dad doesn't know? Is the question.
A lot. I think my dad only knows Dwarven and Common.
And Elvin.
He does? I don't know Elven.
Listen, your mom was Elvin.
I know.
How else was he gonna swoon her?
Oh, did he learn
Wow.
Elven just for her? That's sweet.
Yeah.
Wow, what a dork. I'll speak Celestial.
You get it from somewhere.
I do, yeah. I'll speak Celestial with Luna.
Perfect. Yeah, he
Understood.
does not speak Celestial.
Yeah, the only language he taught me was Common and Dwarvish, and he did not teach me Elvish because it hurt too much.
That's probably why, yeah.
Oh no.
So maybe I'm an emissary from the City of Light, and I only speak Celestial to be closer to my god. And you are here to translate for me.
I like your backstory. It's getting more and more in depth as we go.
And also, you're
Oh,
all
thank
our
you.
half siblings.
Yes, and we're all related. Sure.
So glad
mean-
he's not here.
I guess I could look like any of you, so maybe I look like none of you.
The god you follow is really into free love.
Squid.
Yes, I follow the god of love.
What's the Ariel's dad from The Little Mermaid?
Triton.
King Triton.
Triton. Yeah, with
That's
his
funny.
fucking 15 daughters who are all different races.
You
Yeah,
know
good.
what? Good for him.
There's some
That's
druids
called
like
having
that.
concubines.
Same
Oh.
mother. No, it's the same mother. They're all the same mother. It's like canonically the same mother.
Honestly, he was just underwater Zeus.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know how fish do it.
Not
Oh,
really.
no.
Somebody
But-
put that on the quote wall.
You know how
You
fish
know
do
how
it.
fish do it.
Can we put that in like on the shelf and save that conversation for later?
Okay. I don't have a map for the bearded lady. I didn't think you guys would force this to happen. But I'm proud of
You
you for
did.
doing so.
Have you met any of us?
It's the most awkward possible scenario in this city.
So you guys do all head to the bearded lady. It does not take you long to get there. Nezrin, you
I'm sweating.
could get here blindfolded.
I'm just like looking up at the tiny little window in like the attic room at the very top of the bearded lady, like,
As you guys open the door to the bar, it's a well-sized bar. Seems pretty well taken care of. Nothing too crazy going on here. There are a couple of patrons drinking and eating. And as you walk in, Nezrin, you can't avoid seeing your dad behind the bar.
Does he look okay? Is he doing all right?
Roll an insight check for
You
me.
hot?
I don't think about that, but you can if you want.
I think Nezrin, you're too nervous to be able to read him well.
Yeah.
Surface level, he looks fine. He looks healthy at the very least.
That's good.
There is behind the bar, and you do notice this immediately, there's a slightly larger collection of beers and liquors. Expanded just a little bit.
Hmm.
he seems to be speaking with a couple of patrons, sitting at the bar. And as you guys all walk in, he looks over. Let me describe him for all of you. Let me pull up the picture as well. Give me 1 second, just so I can. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry, give me 1 second.
I realized tonight that I think of Luna as being like shaped like Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, like nice.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah, I
Just
love that.
that length and that like flowy robes.
Those cheekbones.
Yeah.
Bro, Luna can get it. She just is not interested.
Maleficent, if she was invited to parties.
Exactly. See, she would like be more social. She was invited to these damn parties.
It's very true. I'm finding. Let me see if I have it. If it takes me too long, I'll just describe him. But give me a second. I wish I was more well organized.
I wish that I was taller. I wish I was a baller.
I wish I was a fish.
Because you know what fish do.
You know how fish do it.
Zoe, do you wish that you had a girl who
You
looked
can
good so
get
you
it.
could call her?
I just want to be tall.
Wish you had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" Impala.
6'4" Impala. Yeah.
Which was a little bit taller.
I'm happy.
Damn,
with
I
my
wish I
height.
was like 6'9" so I could get with Leoshi. Because she
She
don't
don't
know
know
me,
me,
but
but-
yeah, she's really fine.
Oh boy.
It's a classic song, Michael.
You know,
do
I
not
see her all the time in my dreams, like in the scheme of ways to make
make
her
a
mine.
mind.
Gabe, I want you to think about what you just said and who you just said it to.
That's fair. Why isn't it here? Alright,
Is it in your file?
hold on. Is it in tokens?
Don't worry about it.
Now I've got the song stuck in my head. God damn it! It's a classic.
Classic. I've heard it like twice in the last 3 days as well.
Hell yeah!
It's a good song.
It is a good song. You know what? Yeah, I know what I'm gonna use. I'll just use this for now. So you see an older dwarven man with a handsome face, although it is a bit what's the word I'm looking for?
Weathered.
Weathered. Yes, that's a good way to put it. As he looks over towards you guys.
Oh, what a great poll.
This is a perfect reference. I'll
That is, yeah.
probably get art for this, but Cillian is a perfect reference for this. Although that's not his name. But as he looks over to you, he sort of gives you guys a rough smile, and he says, "Welcome to the bearded lady. Come on in. Take a seat."
Lou tips his hat. Hail and well met.
Yes, hail and well met.
We're a small group of adventurers. We're actually mostly here for information, but I'll gladly stop by for a drink. What do you recommend?
Well, what kind of drink are you looking for? Something strong, something to wet your whistle.
Lou considers the ramifications of always picking the strong option. He says, I'm going to pick the strong option.
Something strong, okay. Are you looking for a stout or straight liquor?
Straight liquor.
Straight liquor. How much gold are you willing to spend?
Let's set the budget around like, we can go as high as like 5.
5 gold? Okay, well, 5 gold could get you a bottle of some okay whiskey, or 5 gold could get you 5 shots of some nice top shelf stuff.
Yeah, we'll do the top shelf. Yeah.
And we can spread it among whoever's interested in the crew, as it were.
He nods. You see he reaches up to the literal top shelf, pulls out a bottle of...
You need a stool?
Yes, he does need a stool.
I was about to say, so it's the middle shelf for normal people.
Afan, you actually recognize this. It's halfling brandy.
Oh, hell yeah, this is the really good stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it was made after the war, from what you can tell. But I mean, it's still pretty good stuff. And yeah, he very deftly serves you guys 5 shots, and smiles, looks expectantly towards Alune.
I hand over the gold, tip my hat. Thank you kindly.
You're very welcome. As he takes the gold, and puts it somewhere beneath the counter.
Now, I suppose I could hassle whoever's sitting around here, but I know you, as the barman, you hear all sorts of things. Have you come across or heard of anyone coming across any kind of weird fellows in some colorful robes and some gold chains? They call themselves the Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. He thinks for a second.
They love casting spells.
And shit. You'd know them if you saw them, trust me.
The name doesn't sound familiar. Were they traveling with anyone else?
No, I don't think they really needed to.
I think one's name was like Patrice or something.
Patrice. No, I'm sorry. Doesn't really ring a bell.
Damn.
Were they a group of adventurers?
It's one word for it, yeah.
They're either adventurers or like crooks or something, because they were technically looting a temple.
He kind of frowns at that, looting a temple. That's
I mean, it's an ancient temple. Nobody was missing it.
Well, I mean, as far as adventurers go, you can check out, there's a list of jobs back there. that Craig puts up every week.
Who's Craig?
He's sort of a town, I don't want to say know-it-all, but he knows a little bit of everybody and knows when people are looking for jobs. Puts together a list, puts it up in the bars that any of those adventuring types frequent, which is here mostly, and some other bars as well. But you might ask some of the people hanging around the list.
Fair enough.
All right.
Someone should definitely ask him about Harlequin's Fountain or mention it. Just for a funny reaction.
You could tell Luna that in Celestial.
I
don't think Nesrin would want that to happen. Me, Riley, out of character.
I'm doing this out of character because it might be funny.
Okay.
Luna's gonna kind of nicely push Nesrin to go toward a table and find somewhere to sit, so she doesn't have to be a part of the conversation and have this moment.
She's gonna walk over to maybe if she had like a favorite chair, like a favorite table in the bar where she would sit at. Just like very like reverently touch the chair, and then just like slowly sit down.
Man, you're just giving yourself away.
She really likes chairs. It's fine.
Just like looking at every like little nick and scratch in it, like, oh, I remember what did that.
Can I get 2 whiskey sours, please?
Yes, absolutely.
This place is... It looks like there's been some... Oh, I haven't been here before. Sorry, my companion and I are from the City of Light. But it seems like this is one of the nicer establishments in the city. We're staying over the Harlequin's Fountain at the moment, but it's also very nice.
As you say that, you see his eye twitches a little bit. You can tell he's trying to keep a smile. He's focusing on making your drinks as you do say that. Mostly so you don't have to look at his face. He says, the Harlequin's Fountain. That is, some people do choose to stay there.
Why? What's wrong with it?
They have nice baths.
It's, I mean, if you've got the gold to spend, I guess, go ahead and stay there, but, I don't know. It's a little too snooty for my taste. Not really worth the money, in my opinion.
Old money in comparison.
Yes, it's a lot of style and not as much substance.
Well, I can tell from the robust selection you've got the substance here.
He smiles at that.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this good old brandy over there, to be honest.
No, this was an import. I have a business partner over in the city states. I knew them before, the Civil War. And they were lucky enough to continue working past the unpleasantness of the Civil War. So I'm very lucky that I still have that connection and can bring some halfling class to this city.
Fair enough.
Uli kind of leans back like, halfling class looks at it fine.
Rude.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's nothing.
How much will that be, sir?
2 whiskey sours. What's a gold for both?
I tip him an extra silver.
I appreciate your patronage. Thank you.
And yeah, let's go over. She's gonna take the drinks over to where Nezrin is. And Celestial. I don't know many drinks, so I just got 2 of these.
This is good. I like whiskey sour. It's very good. Thank you. And she starts drinking it.
Just very rapidly downing it.
Mm-hmm.
So from her dad with care.
Mm. Did he seem okay? Did he seem alright? Did he have dark circles under his eyes?
I think every business owner is a bit tired, but he seemed to be doing well. They expanded the drink selection. He's working with someone in the city states.
Wow.
I mean, my judgment of character isn't always on the nose, but he seems to be doing quite well.
That's good. That's great.
And how are you holding up? How are you holding up? Are you still breathing?
I'm trying to, yes.
That's all
It's
you
just
need to do.
very strange being back here, you know.
I think Aloon got a lead.
Really good.
So
Was it Craig?
she looks over at Aloon. Was it Craig?
Craig had the job board. I guess we could ask Craig himself. I don't know. Where was Craig again? I'm sorry.
Craig is not there. Craig is the one who puts up the lists. You can try and ask around about Craig and find him. But he did direct you to some of the adventurers around the list itself. Maybe they might.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go inspect the list.
Yeah.
To find the adventurers. What do I see? What do I roll?
No, it's very easy to find.
You see a list of adventures.
You see a list of jobs. Fetching some things, guides to the port town, all like small jobs here and there, nothing huge. Around the list, Aloon, you almost laugh, especially coming from like a mercenary group. You see like a bunch of people like with their hoods up and drinking and smoking, and it's like you can tell that these people are all trying to act tough.
These people have never been stung by like 50 bees.
Such an odd flex.
What a specific reference.
I like my adventures like I like my coffee.
Stung by 50 bees.
Covered in bees.
Oh, what a quaint little town. Right, well, we might as well try. I would like to ask some people if they've seen some fellows in colorful robes and gold chains, or if they know a man named Patrice.
Yeah, go ahead and
I
roll.
don't remember if I specifically got Patrice's name. That's just the one that I know.
I think you did. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Or
all right.
Persuasion, I should say. Sorry.
I'm real good at persuasion.
Okay.
I'm okay at persuasion.
They sort of like look you up and down. I think there's a certain air about you, Aloon, that
Kind of a chill guy and fun to talk to.
That and like you don't have a reason to front.
It's true.
There's no need for you to front. You are not proving anything to anyone. You have lived your life. You don't need to prove shit to anybody. And I think a lot of them, or at least a few of them, sort of respect that. You do ask around them and try to find out any information. It's excuse me. It's there's not a lot to go off of. But as you mentioned the name Patrice, one of them does sort of perk up. They didn't know or see anyone named Patrice, but they did overhear a couple of people talking about a Patrice. It was two people. It was this hooded, what looked to be like a human, and this large, very muscular orc man with a bunch of tattoos.
All right.
They were here, not specifically looking at the job list, but sitting near it. And they overheard them talking about Patrice and making sure that they had what they needed to check out some cave or something.
Right. And would those be local boys or just adventuring sorts like you folk?
I didn't really see them before. They could have been local, maybe just haven't really crossed paths, but they're not regulars, that's for sure. I think they were from out of town though.
You wouldn't happen to know, I guess they were headed out towards the temple. Well, not a whole lot, but I'll buy you a round anyways if y'all want it. Thank you.
He nods, gives you a smile. Let me actually roll a d20. Okay, you got lucky. He says, actually, I did kind of catch one of their names. It's a big orc guy, went by the name Forge.
Forge.
Yeah.
All right. Elud wishes he could actually turn into a bird because it'd be so easy to find a big orc guy in a city.
Wow, racist.
I'm just saying, tall people.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's not a dwarf city, this, is it? It's just a bar
No,
run by a dwarf.
it's not a dwarf city or anything. There's actually a very like melting pot city. There are a lot of people coming in and out of a lot of different races.
I think most of the dwarves are like more in the ramparts.
Yes.
I didn't. Did you hear me saying dwarf? I didn't say that. But,
no, you didn't.
You said
okay.
a tall person. So
yeah.
I thought you were suggesting that this was a short person city.
I mean, comparatively to the big tall orc man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got tall orc man with tattoos. So if you're playing the Guess Who board, he's like clacking some things down.
You
wouldn't be able to get that from one question in Guess Who.
No, you wouldn't. Unless there's like one guy with tattoos. All right. Well, good a lead as any. I'll keep an eye out, I guess. I know where we know where they were headed because I mean, there's that temple down there. Which, by the way, don't go in. Trapped to shit. Some weird god juju. Best steer clear.
They raise their glasses and sort of nod.
Also, we looted it.
Well, yeah, okay, there's probably not much there, unless you're, like, really into, like, mummies and whatever.
Listen, if it was Nezrin...
Yeah.
Some people are into that, he has learned. And he's trying to... He's trying to be accommodating to all sorts. But yeah, I guess we could check the Midnight Summoner for those guys. Just peek ahead in, and if not, I can wander the city, see what I see.
Whatever
I
you
don't
guys
really have
want to do.
concrete.
I assume Alun returns and tells everybody what they found out.
Yeah, he does. He relays his finding. I'm gonna subtract, like, I don't know. I feel like he bought them like cheap beer, so maybe like
2 silver.
how much? Okay. So yeah, not a very good lead, but somebody knows something about Patrice.
Hey, Patrice.
Hey, Patrice. How many Patrices do we freaking know though? Who the heck names?
Oh, I'm not there.
Oh,
A Patrice.
That's the
you
devil's
see
advocate.
on the phone.
That's the devil's advocate on your shoulder.
I mean, I am a DM. I'm qualified to be devil's advocate.
It's true.
Sure. But yeah. It's not really like the highest priority. It's kind of just something to do. So, up to you all if you want to go on the sleuth and hunt.
Well, I mean, we've got to wait for the guy to get back from the thing anyway, haven't we? So, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You don't have to come with me. I'm gonna go, but
Wait, where are you going?
to find the person who knows about Patrice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll come with you.
Are you okay?
He's high.
No. Yes. I also had maybe 2 of the shots. Don't worry about it.
Jesus. All right, come on.
Okay. Oh shit, I could turn into a dog. Wait, no, we don't have a scent. But if we got one, though. Anyways, let's. Anyone who wants to come, yeah.
What are Luna and Nezrin up to?
Nezrin finishes her drink very quickly. And gosh.
Goes and blows her cover.
No, she wouldn't do that. That'd be crazy.
Go upstairs and you see what he did to her old bedroom.
That's what she is
It's a
really
workout
curious.
room now.
You know what?
AKA blowing her cover.
You know what? She's actually gonna send Rook up to look at the attic window. And then look through his eyes and see if her room is any different.
Okay. You summon Rook. Go ahead and roll a perception check for Rook, please.
Okay.
As Rook perches on the outside of her window, and you look through his eyes, Nezrin, the room is a little dark, but you can see that there's almost been no change to the room. It's just as you left it.
That is almost a bad thing to me because it means he maybe hasn't even gone in there.
With a 13 perception.
Your daughter runs away. You think you're ever gonna go back into her room?
Yeah, to like touch her stuff and like think about her and remember. Also, I didn't run away.
Touch her
You
stuff.
literally said you ran away.
I mean, I kind of ran away, but like I didn't run away. Like he knows where I went.
With a 13, you can't quite tell if there is like if you'd have to get up and actually go into the room to see.
Which I would never do. That'd be crazy to do. How high above us is my attic room?
I would say it's like a Yeah, if it's in the actual attic, it's 3 stories up.
So, like, would you say 30 feet?
Like 30, closer to like 35 feet, but yeah.
Okay, darn. I'm gonna stand up from the table and excuse myself and tell Luna that I'm gonna go to the restroom. And I'll be back in a sec. And then I'm gonna go to like the tiny little restroom room that is on the main floor.
Uh-huh.
And if I were to stand on top of like a sink or a toilet or some kind of table in this close-off room, could I get within 30 feet of the attic room?
I will allow this, yes.
Okay. So because I can see the room through Rook's eyes, I can actually cast Misty Step to get there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna awkwardly stand on top of like a toilet and then just like close my eyes, just like put a hand on the ceiling and just look through Rook's eyes. And then it's as if Nezrin's body is just like disassembled into like thin strips of like arcane glyphs and runes written in black dripping ink that just slips up through the floorboards and up into the attic.
Yep.
And then like reforms her body there.
As you reappear in your attic room, you see Rook perched on the windowsill outside of your room.
Wow.
You look around. Everything is just as you left it. But it's not covered in dust. It looks like it's been taken care of.
I'm gonna go over to my bed and kind of just like touch the covers and like smell them. Kind of like run my hand along the walls. Just like getting familiar with the space again, like remembering the immense amount of time I spent up here. You've never been in here, have you, Rook?
You open the window for him.
Yeah.
He sort of just hops in, tilts his head at you, and then looks around the room.
This is where I grew up. Here in this tiny room. Wasn't allowed to go out very much. So. Spent my time in here instead. Escaped through other things, you know, books and drawings and that sort of thing. Do you want to take a look around, Rugh?
He just sort of looks at you. Before, looking around the room.
And she's just like feeling like nostalgic and weird. And like lots of good memories, but also lots of really bad memories, like kind of getting all mixed up. Okay, that's enough. Ruch, come here. She's gonna snap her fingers, and he's gonna like fizzle, and then reappear back outside.
Yep.
And then I'm just gonna have him, I guess, go down, and I'm gonna teleport down to the front of the building through Ruch's eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like fall 5 feet and catch myself. And then go inside through the front entrance and just sort of like in Celestial say, Luna, I think we're done here. I think we're good.
Luna finishes her drink, looks to the bathroom, looks at Nezrin, pauses, shrugs and stands up to leave.
And I think without thinking, Nezrin will just call out like a thank you as she leaves, which she does like within every establishment that she leaves.
You gotta thank the bus driver.
Yeah.
Always thank the bus driver. Yeah. The barkeep looks at you, and smiles. Not the barkeep. Your dad looks at you, and smiles and says, "Yes, thank you." As you leave, there's not even a glimmer of recognition in his face.
Cool.
Just that customer service. Thank you.
Yep.
Pulling down the
I
first
learned it.
shot and then leaves.
I learned it well.
All right.
So do we have an idea of where this orc fellow might be, or is it just around town?
Presumably around town. There's no specific area that you know or aware of.
We gotta think like the Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Where would they go? Who do they
Aban
know?
turns to Nezrin and says, "Look,
What
I
the
know that
fuck?
was probably quite hard for you, but do you reckon that you could use Ruch to kind of scout the town out and see if we can find this orc guy?"
Oh, yes, of course. That would be no problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to find from above, right?
It'd definitely be easier. Yes. And she's gonna snap her fingers. He's gonna appear on her hand, and she's gonna like give him a meaningful look. He's like, what did this orc look like?"
Big guy with tattoos.
Big orc.
All right, big orc tattoos. You know to look for. Go. And she just like throws him up into the air, and he flaps his wings and flutters away.
So I actually can also summon a familiar if we want to see if we can speed this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't really do it because it uses some of my wild shape use, but
Do they have a name? I've never seen you do this.
nope.
Th- that's-
Anyways,
That's cool.
I mean, I don't do it that often, so I didn't really think about it. What the fuck do I summon? Taking suggestions of what weird fucking thing.
A dragonfly.
A crab.
Yeah,
Um,
a crab in fly.
no, we're hugely inland. A puffin.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Alun would get like a pseudo dragon that looks like one of the dragons that you airbrush across a van.
No, he would get a puffin. the dumbest of all birds.
Actually, I think owls are some of the dumbest birds.
Can I nominate a flamingo because they're like weirdos? They're like
Oh, I had a mouthful of
pedophiles.
seltzer when you said.
God. Owls aren't dumb. They're just very slow.
They're extremely specialized for one thing.
Exactly.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. And that thing for me is sleeping.
Yep.
He puts his fingers up to his head, concentrates, and you know what? Sure, it will be a puffin.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
All right.
They don't fly so much as they fall and miss the ground.
Oh no! This one can fly through magic, but it doesn't look good.
It looks like it's just levitating.
Alright. Sup, dude? Welcome to the world. We need you to find an orc with tattoos. I think you need a name. I'm gonna call you
Steven.
Christopher
Oh,
Steven?
Christopher. I don't know.
Christopher Steven.
I like it.
And it makes the puffin sound, which I don't know off the top of my head. Does a sort of Disney bird animal salute, and then, looking kind of like it's about to crash, flies into the air somehow to go off to seek this orc.
Okay. Both of you guys go ahead and roll me perception checks. With your animal's stats.
Oh, I did it with mine. Shit, I don't know what a puffins is.
Hold on.
Find me a basic bird.
There's
I'm-
nothing basic about the puffin. Let me tell you.
I'm
That's so
going.
cool.
Sound.
I'm gonna say. Where
We
the
could honestly just do a flat 20. I rolled a 1 in that case.
Okay, toad, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, poisonous snake, fish, rat, raven, seahorse, spider, or weasel. I'm just gonna say it's owl stats.
Okay. It still didn't find shit.
What's the owl stats?
Let me look up. Let's see. Perception's a +3, so that's an 8.
3. This poor puffin, birthed into the world through your magic, doesn't know shit from fuck. And it can't.
It's crashing through clotheslines.
It barely knows
Doing
how
its
to.
best.
It barely knows how to fly, let alone trying to find a big orc in this city. Aloon's like, yeah, buddy, I get it.
Cities are fucked.
But Rook, especially this being Nesrin home city, does a much better job of trying to find this large orcish man. Although even with a 22, he's not in town. At least not outside. There's always the chance that he could be somewhere inside, but I would say you spend a good 15-20 minutes looking through Rook, but you can't really find him.
Rook doesn't seem to be able to find him. He might not be in town, or at least not outside at the moment. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Christopher Stevens not finding anything either, although I think he's having his own issues.
Well, I guess between both of our birds, we probably would have found him if he's out there, so...
What if we do like a dating ad for hot orcs in our area?
Nesrin, like, blushes and almost chokes. Like, what? How would that even... What? How would you get something like that out in, like, today?
You gotta find Craig.
Figure it out.
And, like, what if people show up that is not who we're looking for?
Find
Fuck you,
Craig.
Gabe. Fuck you.
God damn it.
Did you just get it?
Yeah, it took me a second. Oh, God, I hate you so much.
Personal bad.
Oh, that's funny.
But what if he's not hot? Then he wouldn't actually. Well,
Listen, it's an unspoken rule, but in D&D, everybody's hot.
it's true. Well, maybe we should call it for the evening, or I mean, I guess I could prowl around town as is my way and see what I find, but
As is your way.
You know, his way.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Aloon loves the carouse.
Yeah, is he good at it? Who knows? It
It's a
depends.
prowl.
He usually needs Florian to be good at it.
My little
Oh,
buddy, he's gone.
I miss Florian.
We
I'm
all
glad
miss
the carousing
Florian
went so
so
well.
much. Florian's
Florian
having
would
his...
be having fun right
Should
now.
we drunk text Florian?
You guys should drunk
Yes.
text Florian.
I'm gonna send him a picture of my familiar being an absolute disaster. His name is Christopher Steven. He is my son.
But yeah, having not had much success, I assume you guys return to the Harlequin's Fountain.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys get back there, it's only maybe like 40-45 minutes
Callistofer.
After you guys arrive that EC also arrives.
Hello.
Did you find any deer?
No, I sent a message to Luna. I guess she did not tell you. I actually found the people wandering with their like chickens with their head cut off, so I gave them directions to a mine.
Oh, how are the chickens?
No, they were wandering like the chickens.
Oh,
Did they want to go to the mine, or did you just
Yeah,
direct them to it?
I mean they had this like map that led had a weird language and then some Sylvan, and the map was taking them to a blessed mine, is what they said on the map.
Hmm.
Some
Hmm.
some folks from around here that think that kindness isn't, commonplace. I guess this is a pretty big city. Suppose I should not be shocked by that.
when you get enough people in one place, you're pretty much always going to end up with bad actors, intentional or not.
Yes, well, how was your endeavors?
Quite good. Got a few leads. We all went to the temple, and then we did a little bit of information searching for Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Hmm.
We
Um,
didn't really find them though.
We're looking for a big orc guy with tattoos.
Did you see a large orc man with tattoos?
Was he hot?
That does not matter.
Also, EC doesn't know what you consider hot.
EC,
You know that's fair.
you did not see a big orc man on your travels.
The only people that I saw were mostly humans and half elves. But I mean, Carolyn was, pretty. I mean, objectively pretty. She was pretty big and burly. Like she had these big muscles.
Nodding, nodding.
But no orc that I saw.
All right,
Yeah,
good to know.
Saying that you went to the temple, Ishi's just sort of gonna look at you and you didn't say anything about me, right? That am I supposed to be expecting like people to track me down and want to dissect me?
no, I don't think they're going to dissect you.
But they're going to track me down.
No, I don't think so. It's more of a wait and see what happens situation with them.
Hmm. Well, if they come and dissect me, I'm going to kill them.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
fair.
want to be dissected.
I believe if you're still alive, the term is vivisected.
Of course, I'm going to still be alive. I'm going to kill them before they can do it.
Okay, you have my blessing, I suppose.
I did not need it, but I appreciate it.
Luna shrugs. This conversation's a bit confusing.
All right. As you guys all sort of converge in one place and get some drinks and get ready for dinner, we will cut it off there. It was a good place to end today's session. Great job, you guys. Wonderful as always. And before we go, why don't we do an RP vote?
Damn. Well, we've reached our max playback limit, anyways. I gotta be honest. I have to give it to Afan for acting like Mike would act.
Yeah, I'm going with Afan as well because I really appreciate the looks around. This isn't my scene. Immediately leave.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Nezrin with a gun?
I'm gonna vote for Elune because Christopher Steven is cute, and I liked everything Elune was doing this session.
I'm gonna vote for Nesrin for the Misty step into the bedroom. That was really fun.
I have to show this to the stream. This picture's so good.
I will.
Truly
I think you have to level this up just for the picture.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I think you got it, Gabe. It's
I
right there.
am
Look, Gabe, if I may plead my case, look at Lizard's eyes. She's not actually gonna do it. She's scared out of her wits.
I won't hesitate, bitch.
And if you're like we didn't have enough combat, I would say that Nesrin went through a battle today, and also she gets my vote.
Oh.
Oh god. Sorry, I was super Nezrin. Oh, fuck.
Riley, he's ignoring us.
Who else voted for who?
I voted for Elune.
Okay.
There's 2 votes Afan, 2 votes Nezrin, 1 vote Alun.
One vote left. The next person voted off of.
I think I will
There's
give it...
one more. Isn't there?
No, there's 5 of us.
Okay.
We usually have 6, but somebody's being a theater nerd.
Somebody's doing things with their
Nerd.
community or something.
Man, I
He's being a
do
cool
miss
dude.
Say and Florian. When will they be back from the war, please?
After strike, presumably.
Hopefully. Yeah, I think I will give it to Nezrin for all of the dad stuff.
Oh.
It's very good.
Wait.
Give it to Nesrin for having a hot dad.
Oh no, Nezrin does have a hot dad. Oh no.
Listen,
Oh, he's hot.
listen. Nezrin's dad landed an elven baddie. How is he not gonna be hot?
With
This is like
charm and wit. I don't know. I guess he had to be hot. It's inevitable.
It's D&D.
Yeah.
Everybody's hot.
hair in the state of a dwarf's beard.
No, you don't level up. Sorry.
No.
Why would you do this
is
to
this?
us? We worked so hard.
Maybe,
Don't believe this.
maybe next time. Sorry that I'm so
No,
stingy
you
with
keep
level up.
saying maybe next time.
Sorry, not sorry that I'm stingy with level ups.
Damn.
To be fair,
Understood. Mike
we
will
aren't
remember
fighting
this.
anything.
I mean,
D&D's not all about fighting.
yeah, I don't do level ups based off of fighting. I do a milestone.
Yeah, but how many squats did you do? None.
You guys are
Easy does 100 squats every morning. Thank you very much.
you guys are almost at the end of this job, and usually at the end of a job, I will give you a level up.
We have to do deeper squats. They have to hurt.
But yeah, thank you guys for playing D&D. Nezrin, you get that inspiration point for today.
Thanks. Can I give it to someone else since I'm at max?
No.
Fuck.
You can get money though.
Oh, I'm gonna get money. Can I spend 5 inspiration points and level up?
No.
I would never have inspiration points.
That was left out of the inspiration document on purpose.
Fair enough. How much gold do I get for an inspiration point?
If you're just doing it flat,
75
It
times
is-
proficiency bonus.
yes.
If you role play it out, Gabe determines how much extra. But that's also probably during session.
Yeah, typically during session.
Gotcha. Well, I'm about to. My inspiration point is still on the stack, so I got to respond quickly. I don't think we can roleplay it out.
Oh
You
my
underestimate your power, but also, you know what also goes up at level 5? Proficiency bonus.
I know. So okay, I'm just
Oh.
get 150 gold.
Yep. Thank you guys for playing Dungeons and Dragons with me. I'm gonna
Thanks for running Dungeons and Dragons.
Thanks
turn
for
off the
dungeoning that
stream.
dragon.
Fuck you, I brought